Hello everyone, come along with us to Crew Pond Farm Stay in Thung Saliam, Thailand. Cook and I are going to spend a few days there. I think you'll enjoy it. Today we are visiting a cocoa farm here in Thung Saliam, and we're going to stay at this cocoa farm for a few days actually, beginning later next week. But today we'll take a little tour, so come join us.
10,000 ดอกได้แค่50 ดอกหมายถึงจาก10,000 ดอกได้แค่50 ลูกโดยประมาณ
มันโดยประมาณ
คือพี่ชาย
คือมันจะสลัดออกเวลาลูกมันเยอะเกินมันก็อันนี้ก็จะ
He said that every 10,000 flowers they get about only 50 fruits.
Oh.
The percentage to get the fruit is so low. จะพูดว่าดอกทุเรียนมันจะออกเยอะมากเลยแล้วทุกๆประมาณ1,000 ดอกจะได้ทุเรียน1 ลูก เขาบอกว่าโอกาสติดมันน้อยมาก
ใช่นี่อันนี้ก็เนี่ยมันก็
อันนี้กี่เดือนละคะ
นี่โตนี่3 เดือนกว่าละ
So this is already 3 months something. Remember 10 centimeters it's like 1 month. So this is like 20 centimeters. It's like 3 months something.
And they'll be harvested after how many months?
แต่ละลูกที่มันติดเนี่ยมันจะใช้เวลาหน่อยอย่างนี้มันเพิ่งมาติดทีหลังใช่ไหมเนี่ยมันติดทีหลังก็ค่อยโตขึ้นมาอีก5-6
We're at the cocoa farm. We decided to stay here, as I mentioned earlier. We have come here and we're spending a couple nights. And down here, whoop, is a whole lot of cocoa. A whole lot of cocoa going on. So these were just harvested. And they will, I'm not sure, do they dry out a little bit and then get split open? But anyway, I do know that this is about 3 months worth of growth, something like that. And these will be processed into, of course, nibs, cocoa beans. And that'll be made into chocolate and tea even. Actually, they use the skin of the cocoa bean. The skin of the cocoa bean, which is inside these pods, to make the tea with. And if you come to visit us in Finland when we're home, you can have a cup of cocoa tea. It tastes cocoa-y, but it's not made from the cocoa bean. Okay, it's my 71st birthday, and I'm taking my life into my hands. Actually, my life has been taken into my wife's hands as she is driving this electric scooter. It's I'm in the back seat. It's actually a seat, has a box on it for carrying stuff around. She's in the front, as you can see, driving. Hopefully she's driving good. Pay attention where you're going.
Okay, so we're driving back to the entrance actually. So we start from the entrance again.
And we're at, of course, the cocoa farm. So these are mango trees, there's cactuses. And remember, left-hand side of the road, please,
so
when
that's
you're driving.
Back to the main road.
Yes, and don't go off the edge of the bridge. No, you can go that way. Bye. Oh, this way. Okay. Go this way, down here. You can look a little bit. Just if you see something coming, move over to the left a little bit. Don't get so close to the edge, please. Oh God, I hope I make it. Oh. Okay. Due to safety reasons, we're going to have a change of driver. But how did you feel about your driving experience?
The balance is not so good because it's a 3-wheeler. So easy to lose the balance between the left and the right side, and the roads that we are on is nothing but symmetrical. So
It's anything but level.
But level and symmetrical. You can see it's like the bumps everywhere.
Well, I'm not sure about the symmetrical thing, but okay, I get what you mean. Anyway, the cows enjoyed watching you do this. Okay. And I, from the back seat, was a little thrilled. So thanks for the thrill for my 71st birthday. Yay! Hello. Okay, this morning we're gonna go get feed for feeding the chickens. So Cook has the
ให้มันต่อ
like a scythe
ทำอะไรต่อ
that she'll use for cutting the grass, and way up ahead of us is Pung Pung, the little dog running around. So we're gonna go cut some grass. Okay, so now we're gonna cut the grass that's gonna be used for feeding. He's showing how to do it. So Cook's gonna do
เว
it,
ลาเรา
So I'm gonna do it, not
ถ้า
you.
and I'm gonna go
เฉยๆนี่
get
มันอา
my
จจะ
tool and do
ไม่
it.
ค่อยเข้าเท่าไหร่ มันต้องค่อยๆเบิดค่อยๆเบิดเรื่อย
So that's how we do
ตัด
it.
ให้เสียงหน่อย 45 อง
อ่า
ศา
ใช่
Okay, so now we have
ที่นี่
the
เอามา
grass
เพื่อ
that
ที่
we're
จะ
going to feed to the chickens
เอาไป
that we just got
ทำเป็น
done
อาหาร
cutting.
ป่า
Cook cut
เอา
herself
ไป
a little
แช่
bit.
น้ำแล้วก็
Nothing serious.
มูลสัตว์ขี้วัวขี้ไก่นี่นะโรยมันก็จะค่อยเน่าสลาย
And
เน่าสลายปุ๊บ
Pung Pung's with us here.
แมลง
Pung Pung's ready to go. Ui, 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 ui.
อย่า
Okay, as I just said, we have picked the grass or cut the grass with this tool or these tools. This is mine actually. I got this in Lampang last year in the Talat when I was with Cook and Min there. And I thought, oh, I'm going to need this someday. Well, here we are. I need it today because we're feeding the chickens. We just got done cutting the grass, which is going to be taken to them. It's part of their feed that they will get. So, coming up, chickens. Okay, so this machine is a shredder, and we're going to take the feed that or the grass that we just cut, and it is going to be put inside
It's
this and
exactly
shred.
like at the temple, what we have. The red machine.
Thai. It's much like a wood chipper, but it's doing grass. So I think we're
ทีนี้ไอ้ตัวเนี้
going
ย
to feed it inside. Oh, Thai. Here's the blade inside or the blades.
ครับประมาณกำที่เรา
ทำเนี้ยก็ใช้ได้อยู่
อันนี้ก็ยัดเข้าไปตัวนี้เวลาเราเสียบปุ๊บมันก็จะหมุนอย่างนี้มันจะสับ
And this will start turning, and it will start
อัน
cutting.
นี้คือแล้วเราก็เปิดเครื่อง แต่เรา
เดี๋ยว
ต้องใส่เข้าไป
เรา
ใช่ไหม
ต้องใส่
Mm-hmm.
เนี่ยเวลาผมทำนะผมจะทำนี้เลย
Okay.
เตรียมไว้นี่เลย
ค่ะต้องเตรียมไว้แล้วนะ
เตรียมไว้ตรงกลางกำนี้นี่ก็ซ้อนกันมา
More bundles inside, so you can do a lot at one time. No need to feed a little bit in.
แล้วมันดูดของเข้าไปเอง
Okay, so he'll turn on the electric breaker,
เกลือมันเสียผมต้อง
and once that's on, we'll be ready to go. Okay, done chopping up the grass. You can see it in the bag here. And the chickens could hear the machine, so the chickens started crowing a little bit. They knew food is coming. Next, feed for the chicken. Okay, so now we begin to mix the feed. This is chicken feed.
18%.
So
ใส่เยอะไหมคะ
18%.
ก็ประมาณ
So that'll be mixed with
3
this
กิโล
grass
ถ้วยตวง
and with
About this.
hyacinth seed as well too is mixed in there. Yes, the flower hyacinth.
3 ถ้วยตวง
The dog seems to like it too. กินได้ไหม? กินได้ Pang Pang can eat it too. Okay,
ถ้วย
3 scoops. อะไร?
3
3.
about 3
1, 2,
kilograms.
3. So 3 scoops.
จริงๆเราต้องไปตักแหน
3.
แดงก่อน
อ๋อ
แล้วก็มาตักอันนี้แล้วก็เดี๋ยวเราไปดูแหนแดงก่อนไป
อันนี้
อัน
วาง
นี้
ไว้
ทิ้งไว้นี่ก่อน
And now the hyacinth
ให้ปังๆเฝ้า
seed
ดูก่อนนะปัง
is
แต่มัน
gonna
กินไหม
come.
เนี่ย
ๆไม่เป็นไรไม่ปล่อยมันกินไป
The dog's gonna eat while we're gone.
อ๋อ เพราะว่าอาหารมันมีความ grass but it likes more stevia grass because it has higher protein content
And
it likes
the
more
stevia grass is the sweet grass.
yes
Yes. And what's in these ponds?
แหนแดงเนี่ย
แหนแดง
เปอร์เซ็นต์
Nadang,
เปอร์
this
เซ็น
is
ต์
the
ของ
red
ไอ้
hyacinth
โปรตีน
seed
เนี่ยจะสูง
in
กว่า
these
ยา
small
หวาน
ponds. So we're going to
Outdoor.
harvest this to mix with the
So
feed
red
for the chicken.
Red hyacinth has even higher protein content than the sweetgrass
Okay.
because he mixed different kind of
Tie different proteins together.
Together.
Ah, okay. So
through
now we
the
begin
cause
to
of the
harvest
roots.
this. Okay, so we're going to take from this pond because it has a lot on the top. This one was just taken over the last few days, so we're going to let it grow more. But this is the one that we're going to take off the top with a net. Pretty simple. I used to do this when I was a boy, in
ยาบาด
fact,
เยอะไหมเนี่ยมือ
in the ponds near
นิด
home.
หน่อยค่ะแต่แบบพอมัน
Cook's
เลือดออก
first
ก็
time
รู้สึกว่า
though.
เอ๊ะทำไมมัน
So now she's harvesting it, skimming it from the top. To skim. Right? You're skimming. You're a skimmer, like skim milk.
เอาแค่นั้นขึ้นมาก่อนแล้วก็ตักใหม่
Okay.
ให้น้ำมันหยด
Now she's letting it drain.
เขย่านิดนึง
Shake it a little bit.
ให้มันแห้งที่สุด
ใช่
Help it now. Oh, it's quite a
เพราะตรงนี้
bit,
มันจะมีน้ำรั่วได้
actually. I thought it was like duckweed, but actually it's a lot thicker and
มันอุ้ม
heavier than duckweed is. So again, this is red hyacinth. Okay, now that we have harvested, or Cook has harvested the red hyacinth,
พอก่อนหน้าร้อน
that's going to be mixed
เขาเรียกว่าออกมากองนอกถังให้มัน
with
ย่อยสลายเพิ่มอีกสักเดือนหนึ่งแล้วพอหน้าร้อนมาพอดีอีกเดือนสองเดือนเอาไปใช้ต่อในสวน
processed like
ของมัน
pellets.
ถ้าทำมา
And
10 ปี
then
แล้ว
that will be mixed together
ก็
with
ทำนองเดียว
this
กันนะถ้า
grass,
มี
the sweet
จุ
grass
ลิน
that
ทรีย์
we
จะเอา
just
ปลวกไปลดนะมันจะ
chopped up.
5-6 เดือน
In fact, the grass I forgot to mention is a stevia.
โอ้มันเร็ว
So those of you familiar with stevia, you know it's super sweet. So these three will get mixed together.
เราผสม
Okay, so now the mixing begins.
อีก
The
ส่วนหนึ่งนั่นก็คือ
stevia grass and the pellets and everything are going to get mixed
เอาเปลือก
together.
ที่ลงสีอะอยากลงสี
And
เขาที่มันเขาเอาออกมาจากข้าว
this one, what's this now?
นี่อีกอันนึง
This is the rice bran
Rice bran.
after they remove the brands out of the rice
Mm-hmm.
so we eat the rice this is the bran that came out of the rice
Oh yeah.
นี่หนึ่งครึ่ง
So rice bran, red hyacinth,
1.5 scoops
and
feed 3 scoops
the feed, the chicken feed, which was here.
ไม่มีอะไร
Eh? This one.
อ๋อตอนนี้ก็ได้
And they begin to mix
ถ้า
all
ถ้ามัน
together.
ถ้าได้มือขยำด้วยมันก็จะ
เข้ากันดีกว่า
เข้ากันดีกว่า
Oh, these chickens are well fed. They must taste good. We had a breakfast this morning, the eggs from these chickens, and it tasted great. So Cook's using her hands. She has plastic gloves on.
ไก่เขาบอกว่ามีทั้ง
Unlike me, she
500 ตัว
doesn't want to get her hands dirty, but I like dirty hands. I always know how to
อัน
wash
นั้น
them.
เราซื้อใช่ไหมหมดเล
Okay,
ย
so the dog is eating the chicken's food. Thung. Hello, mate.
ไม่รู้
Hello.
ว่าจริงๆแล้วหมาก็กินอาหารเดียวกับไก่
Cook's still mixing and Thung is still
แมว
eating.
จะไม่กินอาหารนี้
Hopefully there's some left for the chicken.
มันนี่เข้ากันดีอาหาร
What's the dog doing? Pang pang. You know, like
Pang Pang is actually eating from my gloves
licking the fingers. Finger licking good. Okay, so continuing the feeding process of the chickens, we've now got about 7 kilos worth of feed in 2 different buckets. One bucket will go for the brooders and the other will go for the layers. The layers being the ones who lay the eggs and the brooders being the ones that are raised for, I believe, for the meat. So that's the ones we're going in to see now. These chickens are Australian breed of chicken. And they eat about 10% of their body weight every day, according to our teacher, Phan.
ตอนบ่ายก็อีกครั้งหนึ่ง
ตอนนี่คือ
ตอนบ่าย
They're actually quite big guys. The rooster, especially, of course, quite big guy.
แล้วถ้ามันลงไปตรงข้างล่างเนี่ยมันก็จะลงมาเอง
Some of them are over here in these tires. They're sitting on, they're nesting, we'll say.
อันนั้นนะ
Yeah. And then these guys back here. which
จริงๆควรจะใส่
Cook
ข้า
is
ง
going
ๆก่อ
to
น
put in the feeders.
หรือว่าใส่ตรงกลาง
ใส่
More feed.
ก็ได้ฮะกลางก็ได้ใต้ก็
So
ได้
they know it's time to eat. Yeah. So the meat chickens have been fed, and no, this is still the meat ones, isn't it? Yeah, these are the same chickens.
How did I get it?
So we have to go over to the other place over there. Cook's gonna take us into the other place in a minute. Hold on. Okay, so these chickens down here, they know it's feeding time. These are the egg layers.
Sorry for being late.
And we're late, and they're like, where the hell's my food bin? And Cook's got the bucket, so they're not exactly ready to let her get in yet. They're gonna be all over the place. And of course, the dog is in here with the chickens.
ปังออกมา
ปัง
เลยไล่ไข่แล้ว
He's not supposed to be here. Bang, bang.
อันนี้เสร็จยาแล้วก็เอา
Okay, so feed time here with the sweet grass, which I was mistaken before was not mixed with the regular feed, and Cook has the regular feed here. What you doing, dear?
I'm feeding chicken. I feel a bit bad that I'm late. Chickens are so hungry.
I think the chickens don't notice now. They're happy. Cook's staying real busy this morning feeding chickens.
ปกติแม่เขาไปส่ง
She's very much popular girl right now because was late with the chicken feed. And these chickens are like, come on, feed me.
เดินข้างหน้าหนูก็เหยียบเท้าไก่
Good job, Cook. Okay, as I mentioned before, the chickens are fed a sweet grass. It's related to the stevia plant. It is stevia, but just a different type. It's not as sweet as the one that we use as a sweetener alternative. But this is part of their feed that they get. They're fed twice a day, and the mixture you saw before.
มันก็มี
Chickens are fed. We're now going to go on to cocoa shucking. I think that's what it's called. Okay, here we are now. We're going to do the real harvesting of the cocoa down here. Yeah. So that's coming up. We're going to start hacking it off the tree. Yeah. But first I have to ask, are there any snakes that like cocoa?
Snake
Yeah, snakes that like cocoa trees. Like, banana snakes and things like that.
มีงูที่ชอบลูกโกโก้นะคะมันจะมีงูมาขึ้นต้นนะคะมี
Maybe. And the soil, is it sandy here? Are there cobra? Because they like sandy soil.
ที่นี่มีงูไหมคะ
มี
มีงู
Uh-uh.
งูแบบไหนคะงู
So yes, there are cobras here. They like the sandy soil, but I don't see any hanging out in the middle of the day.
There's snake but
Let's
no
get to harvesting.
อายุมันน้อยอยู่
Now we're talking about what we're looking for when we harvest these.
มันต้องกี่ปีคะ
มันต้อง
And Cook's gonna
เกิน2 ปี
explain
ขึ้นไปแล้วมันจะเริ่ม
in
โต
English
ขึ้นเริ่มโตขึ้น
in a minute.
ประมาณนั้น
แต่นี่ก็เอาไปทำไปทำ
Right
ทำได้อยู่
now,
ทำได้อยู่
through Phan,
เวลา
who's the
นั่นเราก็ตัด
teacher and farmer,
ตัดตรงขั้วเพื่อ
his
อะไร
wife,
แล้วถ้าเราดึงแล้ว
are here with
ตา
us
ดอกมันจะเสีย
explaining.
เราต้องตัดเลยตัดนี่
คือเราจะตรงตานี่ไว้
There you
ใช่ไหม
have.
คะ
มันจะไม่กระเทือนถึง
There's
ตาดอก
one in the
เนี่ย
basket.
มันจะมีดอกขึ้นมาเรื่อยอันนี้ที่มันแห้งๆนี่คือว่ามันไม่ติดละ
The flowers are important because each
แต่
flower
ถ้าที่เขียวๆอยู่เนี่ยมันจะติดละ
a future cocoa pod, so we're careful not
ดอ
to
กไม้เนี่ย
damage the flower.
นี่เป็นดอกมัน
คืออนาคตจะเป็นอย่างนี้ถ้า
And
ติด
you
ใช่ไหม
can
คะ
see the
ใช่
yellow
ถ้าติดมัน
pods
จะ
are the
เริ่ม
ones that we're
เล็
looking
กๆอย่างนี้มา
for,
เลยเนี่ยเริ่มเล็กๆ
not the green ones.
นี่คือไม่
The yellow from top to bottom. If they have a little green at the top still,
ลองดู
they wouldn't take, but this one here, Cook's gonna take. And she's gonna cut it off with like a pruning shear.
เวลาตัดยังไงก็ได้45องศาก็ได้ตรงๆก็ได้
Show me your first catch. She caught her first cocoa pod. No, she harvested her first
ก็
cocoa
ถ้า
pod.
เหลืองนี่ได้
ได้เอาตรงนู้นก่อนก็ได้
She's taking more. Ah. What are you doing, Cook?
I'm cutting the fruit.
เนี่ยถ้าลูกติดๆมันจะเขียวอย่างนี้ค่อยๆใหญ่ไป
Mm.
จาก
It's
ดอก
a little one down here, very tiny.
So you see that if the flower turns to be a fruit, it will slowly grow like this size to bigger size.
Oh,
And we
that's why each flower is so important.
Yes, and we turn yellow, then it's
จะมี
ready.
ทั้งเนี่ย
And
ใหม่ๆ
it
ออกมา
takes
มัน
many
เป็น
thousands
ตู
of
มยังไม่
flowers just to have one fruit
ด
grow.
อกเรียนดอกตูม
So
ยังไม่
kind of like fish eggs, you know, you can have a million of them and maybe you get a dozen out of a million or so, but it's not quite that ratio here. But anyway, the flowers are precious.
ใช่ใช่เริ่ม
Okay, Ride with Thai. We're still at the cocoa farm, and now we are about to continue something I didn't show you earlier because I was taking a nap, Cook, and our hosts were busy cleaning the cocoa, the cacao, and I am going to help. So now these that have been opened, we will take the seeds out and put them in here in these buckets. And then they'll be placed out in the sun, which I'll show you later, where they can dry. I've been told that I should wear plastic gloves or latex gloves or whatever it is, gloves, because this inside of this is very slimy and will stick to my fingers. I don't mind. I don't plan on picking my nose or anything like that, and I certainly don't have any hair to get out of my eyes. So I'm undecided. Do I go glove or gloveless? Glove or gloveless? Glove or gloveless? I'm not sure. Did you wear gloves?
I did.
And what do you recommend?
I don't know. I haven't tried gloveless yet.
Oh, she hasn't gone gloveless
My
yet.
gloves are over there.
Okay, well, let's get
I
started.
can try these.
So Cook's gonna say how to do this. Go ahead,
You
baby.
remove all the seeds, every single seed out, and you see there are some fibers here in the middle between all the seeds. In the middle, you don't want those fibers. You
We
just
don't want those fibers. We
yeah,
just want the
you
other
only
part.
remove the seed, but every single seed has to be separated.
And
like
she's
this.
decided to go gloveless.
For
At the
now.
moment, I'm
Yes.
wearing a glove.
Earlier, I used a pair of gloves. It's easy to remove too, but it's a bit slimy. And when you have removed at least half of this already, it's easier to do like this, honey. Take it whole thing out, and then leave it like this in the middle fiber. So you see, there's no single seed left, and then just throw it back.
Ah, okay, okay. So it's kind of like taking seeds out of a pumpkin, no?
Something like
It
that.
feels like it.
Yes, but this
Okay.
is a bit more bigger seeds. So
All right, let's get started. Let's get this party started.
okay.
ที่จะไปบีบออกมาให้มันเป็น
We're talking about cocoa butter.
So he said from cocoa nibs after the whole bean has been roasted. Then he said the next to get the cocoa butter you use cold extraction process. You use a certain press. The press
Chai.
or the oil
Chai.
the oil that comes out of the roasted beans is of this color.
So do they do that here, or that's not a product they produce?
ที่นี่ทำโกโก้บัตเตอร์
เครื่องมือเรา
เครื่องมือไม่มี
ไม่มี
No,
เพราะ
they
ว่า
don't have equipment to do that.
Chai, chai, chai.
ต้องต้นทุน
Okay.
มันสูงหน่อย
It's an expensive, heavy like press machine.
And there's maybe not enough market here or something like that. But anyway,
แต่ถ้าทำขายจะมีคนซื้อไหมคะคนไทย
น่าจะมีเพราะว่า
So those
ไอ้ตัว
are
นี้เขา
the
เริ่มรู้แล้วว่าไอ้บัตเตอร์
seeds that we're taking out. Actually, the beans we're taking
ก็
out.
เขาแยกส่วน
These
ดี
are
หมดแล้ว
the cocoa plants that have just been split open. And now we're taking these beans out and we're putting them in the bucket like Cook is doing here.
กาก
See her
ที่เขา
taking
สกัด
them out.
เย็นแล้วเอา
They're
น้ำมัน
kind of
ออกไป
like
แล้วเนี่ยเอาไขมัน
slimy
ไปแล้ว
pumpkin
ที่เป็นสีขาว
seeds.
ๆออกไปปุ๊บ
But of course, because they're cocoa beans, they're much bigger.
เขาเอาไป
And then these are the empty husks here.
ที่ที่
And eventually, these will all get spread out in the sun on a mat. I'll show you in a little bit.
มันมีประโยชน์
And then they'll dry. and then they'll be husks. The skins will be taken off. The skins are used to make a cocoa tea, and of course what's left when the skin is gone is the cocoa bean, which is what they call nibs, N-I-B-S, nibs, cocoa nib.
ถ้าเรารู้ไม่ทัน
Okay, we're continuing to process the cocoa
เอารูปไปอวด
plants, and our host Phan, teacher Phan, he's cutting open the plant, and you'll see
ฟาร์มโกโก้นี่คือเป็นอะไรที่แบบว่า
he
หา
cut
ยากมาก
open
นะ
the
ที่ประเทศ
pod,
ไม่ใช่
and
เพราะว่า
then
แบบ
we're cleaning
โกโก้นี่
the
ดังนะ
beans that are in the
กิน
pod.
กันเยอะอะ
That's
ใช่
what
ค่ะแต่มัน
cooks
แบบ
do.
ฟาร์มโกโก้ที่ไทยอ่ะ
Talking a lot.
แต่คนทำไม่ค่อย
But we get the work done. We're almost done today.
แต่
Yeah.
คือถ้าสมมติว่าปลูกเพิ่มก็มีก็คือก็สามารถที่จะเขาเรียกว่าผลผลิตเท่าไหร่ก็แปรรูปขายได้ตลอด
อันนี้หมักไว้1,000 กว่ากิโลนะ
A little more on cocoa beans. These are cocoa beans that are drying in the, of course, the sun, and they look like almonds when they dry, small almonds, and they actually taste quite good. Inside, it's black like a coffee bean when you take the husk off. And the husk of this, let me put this up to the camera, is used to make a tea. But these are drying, and we just got done cleaning a lot of the beans, and now those beans will ferment. So let's go look at the fermenting process. So as promised, we're going to move on to the fermentation process, and I just learned that banana leaves are used in that process. So we're harvesting some banana leaves, which will be used for fermenting of the coffee beans that we just took out of the pods this afternoon. About 4 hours worth of work on hundreds of pods, and now maybe thousands of beans. 100 kilograms we did today. Yeah. Okay. Okay, first or second, if you want to call it, step in fermentation is we're rinsing the banana leaves, which we just previously harvested, which are used in the fermentation process. So we got to rinse the dust off of those. So, you know, country road dust, countryside dust. There's no industrial dirt out here. There's nothing industrial here. It's all forest and mountains around us. The mountains, by the way, are marble for the most part, white marble. So,
อันนี้เป็นภูเขาหินอ่อนนะ
pretty simple.
ใช่ภูเขา
Banana leaves are wonderful. They're used as wrappers, they're used as plates, they're used as spans, and as we're finding out, they're used in fermentation process as well too.
The basket, right?
Okay, so he's lining this bucket with the banana leaves.
But he'll put this on top of this.
I understand, but he's lining it right now. And the bucket has in the bottom filtration holes. So
คือวางยังวางครับ When you see it's like this
อย่างน้อยก็คือจะทำให้ตัวจุลินทรีย์เนี่ยมันมีช่องว่าง ช่องว่างให้จุลินทรีย์เข้าในถังเราเนี่ยก็เราก็เจาะรูด้วยนะ
ค่ะเห็น
it's,
You see the
there's
holes
filter holes in the
holes.
bottom. Yep.
the dripping
Yeah.
holes yeah
เจาะรูด้วย
And then that's going to go in that pan. Oh, I knew that. I just knew it, but I don't know. You know, I don't know what I don't know, but I
เอา
thought
ทั้ง
that's what would
ทั้ง
happen.
เม็ดทั้งอะไรเนี่ยไปทำไวน์ก็ได้อยู่
And then these are the beans that we just cleaned from the
Mark,
pods,
sila
and
lang.
they'll be placed
คน
inside.
เอาหมักได้สัก3 วัน 7 วันแล้วก็เราก็เอา
And Cook's going to explain more to us
เอา
in a minute. Okay, so now the cocoa beans are being added or put into the fermentation container. And do they go in all at one time?
ต้องลงไปหมดเลยไหมคะก็คือเนี่ยที่เราทำไปได้3 ถังเนี่ยลงไปหมดเลยนะคะหรือต้องแบ่งเป็น2หมัก
เต็ม
2รอบ
เต็มถังก็ได้
เต็มถัง
Do they put them all in at one
ต้อง
time
มานี่ต่อ
there?
นะคะต้องใส่ใบลงไปรอบที่2นะคะ
ยังไม่ต้อง
We're not going to find out for a while.
ก็คือ
ถ้าจะให้ดี
Sometimes when you're dealing with multiple languages,
โดยที่ใส่
the filmmaker's language doesn't matter much. It's the pictures that matter.
เดิน
จุ
ก
ลิ
ลาน ง
ทรีย์มาเนี่ยมันมาอยู่ในพืชมันในใบนี่นะ
Uh, Okay, so are they all gonna go in at once?
He said so.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask for the third
จะใช้ใบ
time.
ของ
Okay.
โกโก้เลยก็ได้
You can use this leaf or cocoa leaves. It doesn't
Or cocoa
matter.
leaves. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, so now it's about half full, and now another layer of banana leaf has been put on it. So there's a layer of banana leaf on the bottom, around the sides, and then halfway up. And now that it's half full, now it's another layer, and now it will be filled till we run out of cocoa beans. Again, this is the fermentation process. You were saying about the aroma. What were you saying?
It has very good aroma.
Oh,
Sweet,
let me smell.
sweet cocoa aroma.
Mmm, chocolatey. Cocoa-y.
อ๋อ ยังต้อง
Tastes like a bowl of
มันหอม
cocoa
หอม
puffs. Yeah, cocoa puffs. Yeah.
อันนี้
Cocoa
ห
for
หม
cocoa
ดแล้วใช่ไหม
puffs.
วายเจอ
Now more layer of banana leaves, multiple layers on the top.
so there's Brian
วายเจอ
And
ทำไว้
this
So-
is
the liquid that comes out of this bucket at the end will be filtered out and turned to be cocoa wine.
cocoa wine. Oh, it actually has an alcohol content.
มีแอลกอฮอล์สูงไหมคะ
ก็อยู่ที่การหมักว่านานแค่ไหน
ถ้ายิ่งนานยิ่งสูง
พอนานแล้วเราก็มาน็อกยีสต์เขาเรียกกันมันเกิดยีสต์ขึ้นมานะจะเราน็อกยีสต์โดยการเอาไปต้ม
ไม่ต้มอันนี้ต้
ต้
ม
มแล้วมาบรรจุในขวด
คือนอกแล้ว
อันนี้ก็จะไม่สูง
Strong or not strong?
เพราะว่า
กลิ่นมันเข้ามาแต่หอ
ถ้าม หมัก
กว่า
ยิ่ง
ข้าวหมาน
าก น
ยิ่งนานยิ่งสูง
Jim,
แอลกอฮอ
Jim,
ล์ก็จะสูง แต่ว่าเราไม่
take
มี
a
ที่
drink.
วั
I
ด
want to see what look on your faces.
อร่อย อร่อย
One, my one.
หวานเนาะหวาน
ไม่ได้
So
ผสมอะไรเลย
ห
นะ
วาน
One means sweet, so
it's
sweet.
sweet enough
And cocoa-y?
yes
Ah,
หอม
ยากล้องนั่นนะ
can you taste alcohol?
อือฮึ
Okay, so it has some alcohol. Cook's drinking.
อร่อย อร่อยค่ะ อร่อย
Aroy, aroy.
Okay, say it again tastes like cocoa cider
No, apple cider.
Apple
it smells
cider.
like.
but this is cocoa wine อืม
Oh, sutyot. Aroy. I've never thought there was cocoa wine. This is a wonderful taste. It's sweet. It does have a taste like a cider does, so it's not overpowering alcohol. This should be bottled and sold. Is it?
yes
Aroy. But I would like to know how much alcohol.
he said not much they said not high
Okay. Back to the fermentation process. Banana leaves were placed on
ใช่
top
ใช่
เก็บให้มัน
and pressure put there.
ถ้ามันไม่มีน้ำ
And
หนักมันก็
now
จะไม่ค่อย
the
อยู่
top
ตัว
is placed on the barrel.
แล้วพอน้ำมัน
And the
ค่อย
fermentation process is natural. There's no bacteria added of any
ๆ
kind.
มันก็จะยุบตัว
It's just the cocoa beans and
ไม่ถึง
the
ครึ่งนิดเดียวประมาณ
and the banana
ร้อย
leaves.
หนึงก็จะไป
And
แค่
slowly
10%
gravity will put a downward pressure on it, squeezing the juice out, which then became these two empty
5
glasses
กิโล
of
จะได้
cocoa
แค่
wine, which is, I just found out, an experimental product of theirs. They haven't produced it commercially yet, but we just got to drink it, and I gotta say, it tasted really good. Okay, still on the cocoa farm. Doing a little walk around some of the ponds and other crops that grow here. There's a guava type fruit known as farang that is in these little white bags you see on this bush back here. Back over in this corner by the pond is mot dang. Not good. Mot dang means red ants. And I just barely touched a branch, and about 20 or 30 of them jumped onto my arm, this arm, and started biting like crazy, stinging like crazy. And they're like the fire ants that we have in the United States and all over the world. I learned earlier today there's over 200 different varieties of red ants, fire ants in the world with all different kinds of names. Here in Thailand, one of the many they have is called mot dang, which they actually eat the eggs from, and I have eaten. They're quite good. They're creamy, a bit sour, and a bit sweet at the same time. We ate those actually every year that I've been here for the last few years. I've eaten those. 50 years ago, when I was here as a soldier in the U.S. Air Force, I would have never thought of eating such a thing, but I knew they existed then as well too. You might see some stirring of the water here, some ripples on the water. That is pladuk, 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 pladuk. There, I said it right, I think. Cook will let me know. Catfish, which is in the pond. And the owner here tells us that most of the fish they subsist off of. They eat them themselves, but there are thousands in the couple of ponds that they have. So they do have some that go to market as well too. But a lovely day. Some would say it's too hot. It's about 33, 34, but as you can see, the banana trees and other trees blowing in the wind around me. There is wind today, so it's kind of nice that way, especially if you're like I am right now in the shade. The place to be. Hey, okay, Brother Natai still walking around the cocoa farm a lot, investigating little different areas. And behind me here is a termite mound. Actually important to the cocoa farmer here in that he digs into the termite mound on occasion in parts of it and takes out the droppings from the termite which collect in the bottom or near the bottom of it. The droppings meaning, you know, the dung, the poop from them, what they excrement. There we go, another word for it, the pasca, the key. And then uses that by fermenting it and turning it into an organic source of fertilizer, one of the ingredients in the fertilizer that he mixes. And if I hadn't mentioned it before, this entire farm stay that we're at is completely organic, no pesticides, fertilizers that are only natural, and it's really quite lovely. And anyway, this is what the termites contribute from one of the termite mounds here. And by the way, regarding the termite mound I was just showing you, this one here, I'll zoom in on this one here. The reason it's here is not that the termites are eating the buildings. You know, we always think of the termites eating the buildings, but you see the big leaves on the ground. They come from the teakwood trees. This is a teakwood tree here, and these are all teakwood around me. These big leaves fall off of the teakwood trees. They produce them throughout the year, and the termites actually feed off of those. So that's why their mound is close by the food source. And especially during, I'm told, if I remember this correctly, especially during the rainy season, this is a big deal for them. They consume a lot, and you'll actually hear the leaves crunching on the ground, much as you hear as I step on them. I'm stepping on this one. And that crunching sound, not what I just did, but the other crunching sound, is the termites eating these leaves up. You can see some of their eating there of that one and this one and so on, but the leaves that are completely gone are, of course, completely consumed by the termites. So they don't just eat your home, and they don't eat the living tree, but they do eat, well, yeah, they do eat up the living tree. The bark off of it, you can see here, you can see some of the work of the termites on this guy here, and this one here. But the leaves, during the rainy season, the leaves. What are you doing, Cook?
I'm just relaxing.
Where?
In Kru Phan farm stay.
Cool, like, that's cool.
Like Kru was a teacher.
Oh, Kru Phan. I thought it was Ban Pan. Kru Phan.
Farm
Farm stay. Okay. And are you enjoying your stay at Phan Farm Stay?
Yeah, we have been here for the last few days.
What do you mean by few? Like 2 days, 3 days?
This is the third day here.
Uh-huh.
And we will check out tomorrow.
Uh-huh. And what have you
So
learned?
hot. I learned a couple of things. How to feed chicken. How to marinate cocoa beans.
Marinate or ferment?
Ferment.
Big difference. Yeah. And harvested some cocoa pods, didn't you? And a little bit of coffee farming too. I learned today about coffee flower tea. So coffee blossom tea, which I found smelled almost exactly like orange blossoms. This is press. But everything here in Thailand is often for me quite a surprise. So, okay, thanks for the interview. เจอกันครับ See you later ครับ